we're here today to talk about women and retirement. I do need to point out as we get started that the views of the panelists are their own individual views and not the views of the congressman. Jamie, I know that financial literacy is something that maybe the public is deficient in general, but it's something that women especially struggle with. Can you talk a little bit about financial literacy, what that is, and what people can do to improve that?
Yeah, the financial literacy, it's a lifelong process. It's not just a one-time course or a one-time thing you can do. It's something that you can improve upon your entire life. And throughout your life, your financial literacy will change. As you're a younger person, maybe you're more concerned about buying a car, when you get into the, middle age, and your financial literacy changes. And there are ways to improve upon this. At the center, we offer workshops and programs for teachers to train our young people to become more financially literate. But for people who are not in high school anymore, you find something that you can read through, Money Magazine, Wall Street Journal, Omaha World Herald. There's online resources, there's Yahoo Finance, things like that you can just read, and you should ask questions. This is very, very complex stuff, especially retirement is extremely complex. You only retire about once, and you don't have a lot of time to go back and fix your mistakes. So ask questions that you don't know. If you have the ability, maybe a financial planner would be a good idea, but find something to continually read.
Sean, I know you have a lot of experience in this area, and I'm a 35-year-old woman who's really just now starting to think about, oh man, I need to be putting money away for this in an adequate amount. But you're also seeing people who are 55 thinking, oh my word, I haven't done enough for this. Tell me a little bit about how women should get on the right path.
I think the first thing to identify, and I agree wholeheartedly with Jamie, is to educate yourself. Find out what it means to use time to your benefit, because time is on your side. As a 35-year-old, time is on your side. As a 55-year-old, time is still on your side, because if you have made it to 65, actuarially speaking, if you're a female, you're going to live to 84. That's another 19 years beyond retirement age. That's a long time. Now, guys, sorry to tell you, you're going to live to 81.
So we don't have any concerns and don't need to save a dime.
Women are going to live longer.
Right.
And so I think it's challenging to get ourselves off of dead center and say, I retired, I still need to be actively engaged in preparing for my future and working toward the end.
I agree with that. I think there's a lot of things that go into retirement planning. I don't think it's just putting the money away.
Right.
I think it's making good decisions, and you have to be nimble on your feet. Absolutely. Because those changes, that changes all the time depending upon what's happened to you, or happened to whoever your significant other is. At Legal Aid, we see a lot of folks that have problems. As I told Amanda, they've done everything the right way. They put money away, they have retirement, and out of the blue, there's some catastrophic illness that occurs, or somebody loses a job, and all of a sudden they have to live off of their savings or whatever resources they might have, and then all of a sudden they don't have anything, and they've really got to step back and make some life changes, and it's difficult. It's very hard, and it's unknown, uncharted territory for them.
You have a great point in that. I think that what we all need to recognize, too, is that traditionally women are more conservative in their decision making. So we tend not to take the investment risks that our spouses or significant others might make or might have taken. So that being said, we're not as prepared.
I agree.
Obviously, you sell financial services products. What do you think about when you think about Medicare and Social Security? How do you address those issues when you're talking to? Obviously, you're selling products over and above Social Security in most cases, but you have to think about Social Security.
You bring up a great point, Congressman. The vast majority of products that are going to be available through insurance companies are going to be gap-filling products. So if you find yourself to be in a situation where you don't have enough resources,
right,
these insurance products really, like long-term care and and annuity products tend to help you bridge that probability of living too long, which is a bad, that's a great problem to have. Now, the vast majority of the time, if I was to sit down and talk to a client, or I talk to my folks about this all of the time because they're not as financially prepared, and say, listen, we need to see what the program offers. We have to understand the benefits of Social Security and Medicare and try to get them to work together. We have to talk about what other resources they have personally. And the vast majority of the time, women don't have enough.
I think sometimes even as women, we haven't always thought about how to title the house or the car, those basic assets that, we still occasionally see an older woman will call us and everything was titled in her husband's name and her husband's now gone. And what does she do?
I chaired the Judiciary Committee in the legislature. Amanda was on our committee and for many years, and we've made some changes in the laws regarding inheritance and to that very point, so that there's clarity, there's understanding. That house goes to the spouse.
You're absolutely right.
And there is no passing go. You can set it up, but being able to, and that's a major function that legal aid performs, is to say, and here's what the situation is. We try to pass legislation that makes it easier, but you still have to be aware and you have to be cognizant of what's going on.
Yeah, and we always stand ready to take those phone calls. We want people to call us so we can talk them through and help them figure out, what they need to do, what the next steps are. But it is confusing.
Well, that's something that you should tell all women of all ages is don't take the back seat to your finances. Be an active member in it. If you don't understand something, there's resources to find out, or again, ask these questions. But married couples, it's we should no longer have one person taking care of all the finances in case of an emergency. Even if it's in, reverse, if the woman somehow is taking care of all the finances. It should be an active participation of both. They don't need to hunt for bank account, passwords to get online, or, that they are on all titles.
Password issue is a huge issue, and we actually had legislation on that, remember, Amanda? Dealing with getting access to passwords.
What are the 2 or 3 things that they could be doing right now to try to improve their circumstance, whether it be financial literacy or talking to a personal advisor? I'll just toss that out to the panel.
I will say that if you are seeking a personal advisor, please make sure that you're dealing with someone who's credentialed. If you have any investment assets whatsoever, whether they be mutual funds or individual stocks, please seek someone who holds what's called a FINRA license, either a license 6 or a 7.
Can you spell that with those letters?
FINRA. And the thing that I want you to realize is that you can go online and look up someone's credibility. Brightscope.com carries the financial credibility of people who are licensed. Women have trust issues when it comes to money. You need to make sure that you're dealing with someone who is licensed, who has that credibility.
It is not uncommon for us to be on the phone with them and advising them how to prioritize which bill to pay. And, there are still those horrible debt collectors that threaten, that they're going to come cart them away to jail or, whatever else. So then they try to pay that $20 a month to the credit card and they go without their medicine.
Annette, what kind of traps do you see people fall into? Maybe schemes?
And we do a little bit of financial literacy as well. It's more kind of like depending upon who the audience is. We visit senior citizen centers all the time. We talk about more targeted information like what a reverse mortgage is, so people can make those decisions. We don't advocate for or against it, but people need to understand what it is so they can make their own personal decision. And then oftentimes we'll counsel them privately so they can make a decision, a very informed decision. We have in Nebraska, we have the wonderful homestead exemption on property taxes,
and
we
continue to increase it from time to time.
And that's a lifesaver, quite honestly, a game changer for a lot of our folks.
If you're out there listening, you find yourself to be in a situation where you need to think again, please reach out to the free resources available. Take responsibility and, again, own your future.
It's great advice.